Good Monday, makers. Welcome back to another episode of Maker Pipe Monday. Thanks so much for coming back. My name is Dave. This week, we're going to check out really creative builds, all made out of EMT conduit. Let's get right into it. The first one is by Kylie, and she posted this on the community. And what she needed to do was have a temporary corral, portable corral for her horses when she went primitive camping in for endurance rides, horse rides. And this is what she came up with. It's a modular system that she made all out of EMT conduit and R fittings. And then she's even got a special hack that allows her to take these down and put them up really quickly. And this is it. She used conduit hangers, which are these pieces right here. She's got 1, 2, and 3 on 2 different panels. And then she just runs an eye bolt down the center, which she can remove and put together extremely easy. Here's a video of her doing it. I think she likes, endurance riding, backcountry, or primitive camping with her horses, which I think is super cool. And then she's able to take these down and put them up really quick with this simple hack. And thanks so much, Kylie, for sending in this video. I love seeing it, and I love seeing your horses. And I think it's just a super great solution. She says that not only are corrals expensive, but they're also really hard to get these days. So I love the DIY attitude. Really cool, Kylie. Thanks so much. The next one we have is by Projectile Objects on Instagram. Check them out. They've got a really neat channel. And they equipped their studio with this really neat dividing wall. Take a look at this. Beautiful studio. I love it. And they needed a way to divide the room. So what they did was they made a entire wall out of EMT conduit and R fittings. You can see the whole structure there goes from ceiling to floor. They even have a sliding door in there, which I just can't believe. It's so cool. And they use polycarbonate as the material. So there's polycarbonate here. Looks like there's some opaque polycarbonate there as well. It just came out so cool. I mean, I really love it. And then the sliding glass door or polycarbonate door, they incorporated that into the frame. You can see that here. You've got, I assume it's purchased and then just framed it into the maker pipe right there. There's the tracks and the rollers. So really great idea. Awesome studio. I love it. It's great to hear from you too, Projectile Objects. Thanks so much for sharing that on the community. Love seeing it. Here's one by Tommy. He needs to have a fire and spark suppression screen for his fire pit in his backyard. And if you've ever purchased them or got them, they burn through quick. Not a great solution because they're usually pretty flimsy. So he went the DIY route. Take a look at this. He made it all out of EMT conduit, R fittings, and then he stretched hardware cloth all over here, attached it to the frame, and sprayed it all with high temperature black paint. And he's got a few photos. He's got these doors you can see that are hinged. They go up here, and he used 1/2 inch EMT with the 3/4 inch connectors over it. They make a nice hinge, and he's able to tend to the fire through the screen, which is really cool because on a screen this big, lifting it up is probably pretty difficult, even though he does have a handle at the top there. I like that with a 1T connector and a 5-way here to incorporate it into the screen. And there's the T 5-way, really neat build that he did. And I like that. Tommy says that he added a door for easier access to stoke the fire. 1/2 inch conduit to make the hinges and sprayed it down with high temp auto paint to help with heat resistance. So Tommy, great build. Thanks so much for showing that. We got a chance to collaborate a little bit on the design too. He let me in on the design process. So I'm always happy to help out when that's the case. Thanks, Tommy. Here's one by Glenn. And it's his first time posting. Glenn, welcome so much to the community. And your build is really neat. So what Glenn did is he made a trellis for his hives. He's got some flow hive bees, and he made a shade trellis over that. And it looks like he either had originally some PVC. He built it out of PVC first, possibly. You can see the PVC, and he's got some natural climbers growing there on the side. And then he went, I think, next step, built it out of conduit and R connectors. And you can see the frame that he created here, anchored into the ground. And then it just gives a nice area for the bees shade. And then he incorporates some netting, some camouflage netting all around. until the climbers and the vines get going. Really neat. Love seeing that. Glenn, thanks so much for posting. We really appreciate that, and welcome to the community. Here's one by Scott. Scott has a great story. He has two dogs. Both are getting up there in age. And he has a bear who's 12 and a half years old. And then his black lab mastiff is 10 years old. And he needed a way to get them into the four wheeler, into the side by side. And he bought steps right off the bat. And actually, Bear fell off of those steps, if I'm reading this right. So he went to the drawing board, said, I need some really wider steps to solve this problem. So he made this whole structure that rolls around out of maker pipe and conduit. And it just looks so great. He made this stair step kind of design, which I think is super cool, with a bunch of T's. So you can see that there. You just stair step that down to where it's resting on the ground, and then attached these wheels through an axle in 3/4 inch conduit, and it pulls right up there to the tailgate. And then he's even got a handle here to move it around. And he let us know that the steps are HDPE plastic with some all-weather carpeting wrapped around them, which I thought was a smart move. Doesn't have to worry about it getting wet. And he says the wheels do the trick. There it is in progress. And then he even included a video of, I assume it's Bear, but one of his pups getting up and down from the bed of the side by side. Take a look at this. Really heartwarming and great problem solved as well. Little timid at first, but does the trick. And then tail wagging, I love it. And then check this out, ready to go, right back up into the bed. Does the trick. So thanks for that video, Scott. We love seeing your project, and I think it's a excellent example of how you can solve a problem with just some ordinary materials like EMT conduit and maker pipe. So thanks so much, everybody, for posting those builds. If you want to see more builds like this, please consider subscribing. We do this every Monday where we feature creative builds like this, and we'd love to have you. We'll see you next week. Take care.